Happy holidays! Hello and welcome to Goblin CG. Today I wanted to share with you a little character I've been working on that I plan to 3D print. I wanted to challenge myself by creating something for the holiday theme, so I was thinking something like a Santa style character or Santa-ish. That's why I have a little hat here that's kind of like the Santa hat. I tried to follow some chibi proportions, so he's got these little stumpy legs and a tiny body with a big head and a big nose, big eyes. Once I got to the mouth, I started thinking maybe I can make this guy a monster, so I added little fangs for him, but I didn't want them to be too big. He's got big nostrils, and what monster doesn't have a big scrunchy nose? Then I started thinking maybe he can be something like a goblin Santa. I gave him stubby arms as well, and made sure to add some goblin ears to it. Trying not to ruin the silhouette too much. Once I was done blocking in Nomad, I brought it into ZBrush so I could get some more details. Here I'm just modeling the ear a bit more, bringing out some of the natural forms and trying to get a more stylized look to it, keeping those strong planes and flat features. Just modeling the lip was a bit hard because I wanted to keep the nice lip shape that he had, but I didn't want to form it too much around the fangs, but I wanted to make it somewhat realistic, so it kind of moved around them. I ran out of some chin real estate, so I added a bit more volume in there. Here I'm just adding to the brows and the nose, trying to keep those planes and add some more flat features. Pushing around the eyebrow and the eyeball and keeping those planes there too. I had trouble finding something I liked for the body, so I completely restarted there and just kind of made a little bit of an oval shape, a little round shape. I actually gave up trying to make the buckle in ZBrush, so I just brought it into Maya because hard surface modeling is a lot easier in Maya. And I just sculpted it here. And then once I was done, I just brought it back into ZBrush. I brought that down and modeled the arm and tried to keep the stubby shape. I just decided to restart because I didn't like the shape of the arm that I had from Nomad. And it's a lot easier with the curve tool to just get the fingers here, so I'm just duplicating the fingers and adding them to the shape of the hand. And I ended up redoing the palm as well because it was just easier to block in that shape and get something closer to the stylized look I was looking for. Getting in some of the thumb flesh in there too, blocking in some flat areas for where the nails would be, and just repositioning it. Also, I redid the legs and the feet. Couldn't decide what kind of boots I wanted, but I wanted these Santa style boots, the leather boots. So I just shaped those out and made kind of a floaty look. Trying to think about how the character is going to stand as a 3D print, so I tried to make sure the bottoms were flat. The connection where the head goes into the body was a bit difficult because it's got such a big head. It's weird for the neck to connect in there. Seemed a bit of a shame to cover up those cool brows with some eyebrows. It was fun working with the facial hair. Totally changed the look of the character. It almost looks weird when he doesn't have facial hair now. I wanted to give him a Santa-like mustache with a curly mustache, but he kind of has more of a Colonel Sanders style mustache now. Colonel Sanders style Goblin Santa. Here I'm just polygrouping everything and exporting it. It looks really different compared to what I had from the Nomad sculpt. Here's the Maya turnaround. The print took about 2 hours and 36 minutes. The supports were actually quite hard to get off. I made them a bit too thick with the 0.6 nozzle. And here's a little render just to see what he looks like with a little bit more detail. Overall, I liked how he turned out. He's pretty cool, and I would have liked to get a little bit more detail in him. I realized that in doing this process, you don't actually have to completely retopologize the entire character. You can kind of leave it in your polygroups and bring it into Prusa Slicer and just 3D print it from there. You might have to do a little bit of cleanup in some areas, but overall, if you just keep the polygroups together, you should probably be able to still keep the detail that you had. Don't forget to like and subscribe and add a comment if you have any questions about my process or this character, and if you have any ideas for things I should make next. Let's learn together, and until next time, happy holidays!